Welcome to Amplifyre's interview series. My name is Kristian, and joining me today is the head of project management at Mikrum, Zsanett Smatkó. Zsanett, welcome to the series. How are you today?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. It's a really nice day here, so my mood is really good. Thanks. How are you?
Perfect. And I'm glad to have you on this morning. Now, today we are talking about the infinite flow in how to deliver successful IT development projects. Now, large IT development projects often slip through the cracks, and sometimes the improvements do not meet the business objective. So, Zsanett, what can be done to make corporate IT development projects successful?
What does even success mean? It can be different for everybody, but I will go with a general term, which means that the project finishes on time, in budget, with the whole scope, in the expected quality, and we have to keep mind the business goal. So, what can make the corporate IT development project successful? How many of them fail? Why do they fail? Many project managers ask themselves, even my results above average? Let me show you an interesting data. Chaos Report is an annual report in which we research IT development projects, their problems, failures, and show case studies as well. The success rate of IT projects is getting better and better every year, we have to be honest. However, it's still staggeringly low compared to the huge sum of money which is spent on them. Based on the latest Chaos Report, the success rate of IT projects is only 31%. During the last few years, there is a great change in the discussion about what makes a software development project successful. Like in the last two Chaos Reports, they changed the narrative a lot. Before 2020, for a long period, they showed that successful IT projects need a specific business objective. That's the key to success. However, the report in 2020 said that they see the beginning of a new period and they introduced a new expression, the infinite flow.
And do I understand it right? There are two directions, and what's the difference? And can these two directions, exist together?
Before 2020, experts claimed that successful IT projects always had a business objective, measurable and specific business objective. This could make it easier to answer technical and implementation questions. It did not change during the few years. We just have to add another layer to it. Since 2020, they see the beginning of the so-called infinite flow period. In the flow period, the project owners provide a budget for a pipeline, which contains many small projects leading to the final product or system. Every small piece must be testable and useful for the customer as well. It's like a spiral. We are getting closer and closer to our final product. Let's go with a personal example. I started to run a year ago, but no, I have the goal to run a marathon. I know my goal, but I don't know when I'm gonna run, what should I eat. I will plan that weekly as I go, like the Infinite Flow suggests. Back to a professional example, during my last 5 years at Mikrum, we see that Infinite Flow leads to a really good cooperation with our customers. It's the best when you see a sparkle in their eyes as we are getting closer to their final products. Every small project, however, in the pipeline needs to follow the 5 key components of success, which focus on the business objective too. So we can see that these two directions can work together and even make the best of each other, as we are working on building a new system, not an IT project.
Let's talk about the key components for a bit. Let's talk about the key components for successful IT development projects. Now, can you tell me what these are and what would you say are the most important?
If the business target is comprehensible and the goal is measurable, it's a good start. We have to be honest. We can find many factors, but I will talk about the 5 most important ones. In the infinite flow, the software should be treated as a product with the entire life cycle of creation, growth, maintenance. It's not a one-time event like a project. I can relate to this one with my marathon goal, as I want to stay healthy after the marathon too. At the beginning, we need high-level planning as well, which originates from the business objective. It may sound obvious that I have to know that I train for a marathon and keep in mind as I plan my training schedule. However, at many projects, because of the time pressure, they simply skip this important step and or plan poorly. This step is a must before we start to work on the small projects in the pipeline. The third one, when I set my goal, I should think of many questions, which will help me find the best implementation. But what questions should I ask? Why do I run a marathon? Do I want to travel somewhere? Do I want to get healthy? The answer to this question will answer to a lot more, like what to eat, what else to train, when to rest. We will see that we cannot achieve our goals without the involvement of an expert, a competent business analyst in the project. Furthermore, most of the time you will work with a team. Clear and transparent communication is a must, which can be achieved with a good project manager. We always make sure that the information is not distorted during the communication. What would happen if I want to train with someone with an injury, but I do not know about it? Lastly, the project stakeholder always know who is doing what. Make sure your expectations are clear and everybody knows their part in it. Like my doctor, my training partners all must know that I train for a marathon and not a weightlifting competition. So what's the most important one? I would say the third one, competent business analyst. IT vendors like us often find themselves in a situation where the customer already figured out the solution, delivered the requirements from the objective. They just order the implementation. We can blindly deliver it. However, in this situation, energy and time must be invested in reviewing the client's self-reference conclusions. Take the time to understand the objectives. It takes a really professional business analyst to find the good questions and build the product as it really needed. Many IT development projects fail at this point. Perhaps that's why companies often view IT as just a cost center.
Well, I've also heard that this is a problem that many enterprises perceive as IT, as you mentioned, as nothing more than a cost center, a liability for other departments. Briefly, what do you think about this?
Mikrum stands behind business objective, and we develop custom IT solutions that supports companies to accomplish their business goals. That's a really important step at our work. Our partners have a vision which will be fulfilled maybe in years, but on the way with us, they will see step by step their system evolving, as the infinite flow suggests. Our partners do not have to understand IT development, servers, architecture. That's why we are there. They just have to tell us about the processes, and we will find a way to perfect them and take their core business operations to the next level. Our aim is to lead the way for large enterprises. IT is not just a cost center. IT is a business booster.
Zsanett, all super interesting, but I got one final question because we're just running out of time. Lastly, if people are interested in finding out what you guys do there at Mikrum, finding out a little bit more, where should they go?
We have a really new website. You can read about us in English as well. You can find everything is interesting about our work. Mikrum is an experienced provider of business-oriented end-to-end IT solutions. And as I mentioned, we provide customized, complex, integrated solutions for our partners. We have a LinkedIn company profile where you can find case studies, and there will be a lot more in the future.
Brilliant. So go follow them on LinkedIn. It's Mikrum. You'll see their redirect links in the details about this video. So make sure you go check them out. Zsanett, I just want to say thanks so much for joining. It was a pleasure to have you on today.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure for me.